I'm going to stay low here because I want to be able to show you from the mat. We're going to be stretching out our feet, toes specifically, and the tops of your um, feet and your ankles. And I was recording another video and my iPad just stopped working. So this is take two. I am going to show you from the front how to line up. So your knees are going to be on the mat, so you may need to double up your mat or triple up your mat depending on sensitivity for your knees. Your knees are going to be directly below your hips, so about hips width distance, and you're going to flex your feet and place your toes on the mat. And if you have sensitive feet, by all means take it easy, and I'll give you some modifications on how to back off. And to start off, place both of your palms directly on your mat about 6 inches or so in front of your knees. Lift your knees up and really work on getting all 10 toes equally on the mat. Distribute the weight as much as you can, so you're going to be spreading your toes and fanning your toes out to do that. Once you've got them firmly on the mat, go ahead and start to draw your sits bones down on top of the backs of your heels. You're basically going to be seated, and this is where the intensity comes in. So I'm going to use my hands as an example. Big toe, second toe. Most of the weight are going to be both feet on both your big toe and second toe, and if it's too much for you, lean forward and draw your sits bones or your seat away from your heels, and you can rest your hands on top of your knees or bring them on top of the mat in front of you. You can do just the pads of your fingers, or you can make a fist and lean forward. As we're holding this, remember to breathe. You can place a hand on your belly to help you make a reference of where your breath should be starting from. And this posture is basically taking all of the individual toe joints and putting a little bit of strain on them and stretching them out, and causing your arch to also, so the arch of your foot is also being really stretched out. So you may feel some of that coming from your big toe and all the way up into the instep. And this one can seem like a long time to be holding, but we really want to get in there and stretch out your feet. When you're walking, you're not stretching your toes out at all. So this is allowing your toe joints to get a little bit more elasticity happening there. And then to follow up to this, we're going to do a counter stretch. So let's do another count of 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. To come out, bring your hands in front of you and slowly start to lift your seat away. And then very slowly lift one foot and lay it flat, relaxing. And the other foot, nice and slow, relaxing. So it's almost like you're pointing your feet behind you. And to do a counter stretch, I'm going to have to scoot up so you guys can see what's happening. So you're going to take a seat. And if it's difficult for you to sit all the way down, I recommend using a yoga block or a blanket. And you can place the block directly on top of your feet and sit on top of it. Or you can take a blanket and roll it up and place it in between where your ankles are and your seat. And that'll give you a little bit of leverage there. So your palms are going to go directly behind you, whatever's most comfortable for your wrists. For some of you, it may be like this. For most of us, it'll be like this. And you're going to lean back into both hands. I like to tent my hands, and my knees, if you notice right here, my knees are coming up and away from the mat. So I'm pulling my knees up and towards my chest, and I'm putting the weight into both of my hands. If it's okay for you and your wrists, you can lay your palms flat. For me, it feels better to have my fingers tented. That way I feel like I have a little bit more control of the weight. And right now, all of the stretch is hitting the tops of your feet. If this is in any way uncomfortable for you, just come on out. We'll stay in hero pose here, and you can just let your feet have a nice neutral stretch. This is actually bringing all of the weight on top of the foot into the front of your ankle and stretching it out. And some of you may also feel your quadriceps getting a nice stretch on both legs. Careful what's happening with your knees. If you're feeling any pulling, any sharp pains, go ahead and come back out of it slowly and take the tension off of your knees. So I'm going to pop back out of this nice and slowly, and feels really good is just to rub your feet. Take your fingers in between each of the tendons and sort of give them a nice massage. Even get in there in the bottoms of your feet, and especially in the instep. You have a reflexology. There's a lot of pressure points here on the bottom of your feet, and your palm is the perfect tool to just get in there and give it a nice massage. And your thumb is a great way to use in the instep, just to kind of give it a nice massage. Your heel and get in there. So that's it for your toes and your ankles. I hope you guys found it beneficial. I recommend doing this as much as possible so that your toes stay nice and flexible. It also helps to prevent later in life any sort of arthritis or any sort of bone issues in your feet. So if you do a lot of walking, if you're a runner, it's very important that you do this stretch each time that you do go for long walks or a run. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. For the love of Yin, I'll see you later. Bye.